it's really important you do check our school bus timetable. We have a huge number of routes running, and some of them are very sixth form only bus routes. So if you have any questions about where you can pick up a bus, how much it costs, anything like that, again it's a point of just emailing us and we can check that detail for you. If you do want to come on one of the sixth form buses, we do advise you do let us know, because obviously we want to keep making sure everyone can get on the bus and we have the right amount of spaces. So in the mornings, you come down Station New Road, and if you are being dropped off by parents, it's probably advisable not to come into the bus park area because it can be quite busy to be dropped off on the main road there. There is also 51, so that comes directly from town. So if you're coming from areas such as Newbold, Brimington, areas like that, the 51 service drops right outside school and runs really regularly. You can of course drive into school if you do have a licence, and we do have a small number of sixth form parking bays. You do operate on a system where you do have to apply for that and then display the Tupton Hall badge to say you have approval to park. And there are of course rules that you have to abide by if you are parking on site. But the buses come here in the mornings, they drop off, and then you make your way down the school drive, and again at 3 o'clock you come up and the buses are all lined up. So it's a good idea, especially if you are new to the school, just to make sure you know what number bus you're looking for, and making sure you get on the right one and understand how the system works. So our students come on site in the morning, come from the bus park down this drive here, and this is where the sixth form, again, entrance is a little bit different from main school. So students come down the drive here and through our main sixth form entrance around this corner. Our school starts at 8:30, and it's really important that students are as punctual as possible because we go straight into lessons. So your lesson 1 is 8:30 in the morning. So it's really important to get yourself into a good routine to be able to be on site and ready for learning straight away. And this is the main entrance to the sixth form. So this is the main doors you'll be using to come and go through the sixth form during the course of the day. You will notice it is key-coded access, and that's to ensure that this area remains a post-16 area. It gives it a nice way of being slightly separate from the rest of the school. Another way in which we're slightly separate is the fact that of course that sixth formers don't wear school uniform. We're asked to look smart, but we do appreciate that as 16, 17-year-olds, there is a time for students to express their individuality and personality. One thing we do ask though is students do wear an ID badge, and that's of course for very important safeguarding reasons. So every student has a lanyard, and on that lanyard they have a photo ID, and that's to be worn at all times during the school day. As we're travelling through the main school, while we're in the sixth form block, this is a key part of our rules regarding the sixth form. This is the sixth form common room. This is the heart of the sixth form block. It's also where students can get their food during the course of the day. So, for example, when students arrive in the morning, quite a lot of them do like breakfast. So we serve breakfast from 8 AM, which is a very popular provision that we have. We have break time, where we have a nice hot and cold selection, and lunchtime as well. And it's run by 2 ladies, Sharon and Nikki, who know our sixth formers by name. And it is really nice actually to see students get their special food that they've requested all named up for them, and everyone really looks after each other. So the common room really is where the sixth formers come just to have a little bit of relaxation time. Lots of students do use it for studying because it is nicely set up for group work, but quite often during the course of the day it's a really nice hub of laughter, of people having jokes, supporting each other. It's a place where you can put music on, and it's really their own space. We keep an eye on things, but this is their sixth form sort of safe haven, and it's looked after incredibly well by the students. There's a tea and coffee machine that runs during the course of the day, and it really is the heart and soul of the place, and it's a really welcoming place. On the downstairs corridor next to the common room you'll find my office. Now I'm based there for vast amounts of time, with the exception of when I'm teaching or perhaps in meetings. Now, in terms of seeing me, it's often the things that you really need to talk about regarding your curriculum. So for example, if you've chosen subjects that you're unsure about, or you need advice regarding universities, or anything that you might need on a sort of really urgent nature, then I'm the person to come and see. If I'm not there, then I can be found just across the corridor in my classroom, and it is absolutely fine if you really want to come and see us, just a knock, and if I've got time, I will certainly see you. Busy times can be lunch times, because that's of course when everyone is free. If that does happen and you really do want to speak to someone, do feel free to email us, and particularly if the issue is something a bit sensitive and you feel you don't want to sit down with someone and talk, then email to start the conversation off is absolutely fine. We do always reply to our emails. Sometimes if we're teaching or busy it can take us a couple of hours, but always feel that we are here to listen and to help you through the transition from year 11 into the sixth form. So, as you can see, this is a library. This is an amazing place that sixth formers choose to use during their non-contact time. We have two librarians on site, Mrs Pickering and Mrs Palfreman, and they are really helpful ladies that will help you find books that you need. They'll allow you to work in here quietly and get on with your study time, and it's a really well stocked library as well. So if we just look over here, we've got all of the school textbooks plus extras that students might need. So this is our history section. Students can come here, use the books in the non-contact time, of course take them out as well. And it's a really beautiful area for just getting down to some quiet work, particularly if you've got lots of homework to do. It's really good, beautifully airy, and a really nice place to study. There also are computers which you can use as well. The school, sixth form, has a huge amount of computers for private study, and these allow again students that want to get on with their homework, or they've got loads of research they need to do. It's an ideal base for studying time. As well as the library, we've also got one of our key officers in here. So if you are wanting to speak to Miss Curtis, and I know many of you will have spoken to her already via email, this is where you'll find her. Miss Curtis doesn't teach, so she is based in here all day, and it's really good perhaps if you're struggling with something or you're feeling a bit overwhelmed. She's really good at sorting out any sort of academic problem, and she's really good at listening and supporting our students. So all it is even during lesson time, if you're feeling a bit anxious, you can pop in here, she's always working here, and have a chat. From September, there'll also be Mrs Brett here as well, who's the head of social sciences, which is one of our big faculties. So again, if you've got queries about the subjects, it's always a good time to come and try and find those members of staff and seek advice. So this is the Richard Smith Hall. This is the space that we use when we need to get large numbers of students together. So for example, we have quite a lot of our assemblies in here, and there is rate seating, which you can see, which we bring out, which allows us to seat about 260 students. So it's quite common for us to have a Year 12 assembly, perhaps on a getting to know you sort of aspect, and throughout the week Year 12s will be brought together to talk about planning for their post-18, their university, employment or apprenticeships, or maybe talking about things like charity events that we're also running. We also have team building events here, so for example if we run something where outside providers come in to do competitions and things, it's a great space. It's also where we have our drama productions, so things in the past like We Will Rock You, and we've got amazing stage and amazing lighting, which makes this space really usable. This is an example of a lower school social area. Now these aren't used during the course of the day, so sixth formers do like to come down here and work very quietly, because they're really large spaces, they've got great light, and it gives you somewhere perhaps if you want to be really quiet and on your own, you can use these and get on with work during the non-contact time. From each social area you will find that there are faculty corridors. So for example if you have lessons in specialist areas, you might find that you go down to have lessons in science, DT, or maybe expressive arts. It's a really simple route to follow, so you can't get lost, But if you do struggle, always stop and ask loads of members of staff or any student, and they'll always direct you to the right place. So this is the example of one of our science labs, and we actually have a high number of labs on site. And we do offer both the single sciences and an applied science. So if you are really interested in going down that route, this is an ideal place for you. We have students every year going into medicine, vet med as well, and an increasingly large number of people wanting to train as nurses. So this is one of the art rooms. Art and photography here at Tupton Hall Sixth Form is really popular. And as you go through the school, there is a massive evidence to see the beautiful work that our students produce. It's the result of hours and hours of work, but the quality all through the school is absolutely beautiful, and we're incredibly proud of our students and their artwork, as you can see displayed. So this is an example of one of our DT rooms. We are fully equipped with the most modern equipment. We have 3D printers, we have lathes, and we have all of the equipment you'll need for lots of engineering applications. One of the things the students find really interesting about using these facilities and the course is they get to really do hands-on engineering, product design, and they get to build something which they take a great deal of pride out, and the equipment here and the support they get is second to none.